right? It could be anybody in the world. And if he was training with somebody, no matter who it was, he would answer the phone and hang up. So I took that into consideration. Right now, he would want me to say, I was working, get the job done, and then you can get to grieving and everything else afterwards. But right now I have a job, and he would understand that more than anybody, and I know that. So he would tell me, working, and keep on working. And that's what I did.
Awesome. Those are truly great words. I think they really echo the spirit of them. And that's really all the questions I have. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Next, we have Marcos Villegas. Take it away.
Marcos, what's going on, brother?
Hey, Shane, how's it going, man? Congratulations on another victory. Touching on the last question, I wanted to know, did you get a chance to talk to your dad about what he felt you showed in there tonight?
I haven't got a chance to talk to him yet. I'm sure I'll get a phone call from him pretty soon, but I haven't yet. Hopefully he watched. Hopefully he liked it, but I haven't got a chance to talk to him yet. I mean, my phone's been blowing up, so he might have texted me or something, but I haven't got anything yet.
Was it hard for you not to have him there?
No. To be honest, I know he's there with me in spirit. You know what I mean? Like, he's with me all the time. You know what I mean? My dad is there with me all the time. I grew up with him, so I have his sayings, his words with me all the time. But this is my thing. You know what I mean? I'm trying to create my own career. I'm trying to create Shane Mosley Jr.'s career. So if he's here, if he's not, I gotta do me. I gotta do my best. Like Brother Nazim said, I'm working.
And touching on Brother Nazim, did you get a chance to talk to your dad about him passing away? Could you share like any of his reactions or anything that he wanted to partake to let everybody know about him?
No, I haven't talked to him about that. We did talk when he first kind of went to the hospital, just about kind of him going into the hospital and things like that.
All right, we're going to move with Albert Baker.
Okay.
Albert?
Shane, how are you? Good job tonight.
Thank you.
So you just beat Ramos. You've been off for a little while. Training. How was training during the pandemic? Was there any type of adjustments you had to make?
Obviously, man, we had to make a lot of adjustments because of social distancing, wearing masks, and things like that. Everybody's cautious right now, so not many people want to spar or things like that. Just a lot of things to take into account, but we did what we had to do. My team, my coaches, everybody, we did everything we had to do in order to get this victory. Whether it was training at the park or meet up with people, whatever, we got it done. So it was difficult, but we do what we got to do.
You had some time off. You got to come in. You got some good rounds with a good guy. What about how you performed? Do you think you need to work on moving forward?
I definitely think I had to. I probably made this fight a little bit harder than I had to, as far as trying to knock him out so badly. I think if I would have took my time a little bit better, placed my shots a little bit better, I probably would have had a better result, and just kind of calm down. But overall, I think just sharpening up, and I think that will come with more fights. And hopefully we can get more fights. We can get more active, and so that my last fight was almost a year ago. So
long time.
Yeah. So trying to get it all together. Sharpen up those skills, and I think more activity, better it'll be.
All right, thanks a lot, brother.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Thanks, Albert. Just going to admit a few more people on. Again, if you have a question, just raise your hand. by using the function he already did, but we're gonna ask again. Albert just finished. Cynthia.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hi, congratulations, Shane. Welcome to the Snack family. I just wanted to ask you. Sergio Mora kept saying, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, I wasn't sure. Sergio Mora kept saying that the one thing that was bothering you throughout probably your career after Contender is your mental game. And I noticed you were a little stiff. Were you a little nervous coming out of a pandemic for this fight? What was going on in your mind tonight?
I think just the nerves of wanting to do my best work, get a knockout, all of these things that we kind of put on ourselves as fighters, and to be kind of away from the ring for a while, had an effect, I think. But I think once I calm down, once we get some more fights, I think that will most definitely help the rust and help calm down and become sharper and
How did you rate yourself tonight?
I would say B minus.
I'm sorry, what?
B minus.
B minus?
Yeah. I got 8 rounds basically on all the cards, 8 to nothing, but I could have done better. You know what I mean? And B minus I think would be good.
Okay, and lastly, you changed trainers. You have moved your camp up to Vegas. What have you learned? What's different now for you?
I just learned the significance of having a really solid team. My team right now is a championship team. I have a championship team, and they believe that I will become a champion, and I believe that I will become a champion. So we all have the same goal, and I think we will get to that goal. Just sharpening up, just getting more fights, and becoming great.
Well, congratulations. Thank you.
Perfect. Do we have anybody else? I'm gonna mute everybody. All right, again, if you want to ask a question, raise your hand. We're gonna move forward with Abraham Gonzalez, and I think we'll end with that.
Thank you.
Hey Shane, how you doing?
Hey, brother.
Hey, how's it going? So given the situation, how do you think, where do you think you're at right now? Do you think you're in a situation where you fight maybe 2 or 3 more times before the end of the year? Do you think maybe once more before the end of the year, and then you really step up the level of competition next year? What do you think? Where do you see yourself right now?
Bro, I want to fight as many times as I can this year, and then next year we'll step up the competition. I'm a fighter. This is what I do. You know what I mean? This is my job. This is how I make a living. This is how I feed my family. This is how I feed myself. So I want to fight as many times as I can, and then we'll bump up the competition, whatever. But I want to get all I can, all of the experience, all the knowledge, everything that I can. The only way you can do that is by working.
And out of the champions at 160, who do you think your style meshes better with, and that you would because styles make fights, that would be a better fight for you down the road?
Honestly, I think I have the skills to deal with them all. So I mean, honestly, any of them. When we get to that point, we'll when we get to that road, we'll cross the bridge. But right now, we got to work on getting to that point. We got to work on, I'm not at the point to fight for a championship just yet, but I will be. So when I get to that point, I'll talk about all the guys that I match up with. But right now, we gotta get fights and grind to get to that point.
Last question, and I know some folks, they probably discounted your opponent tonight. They saw him a little flabby, but he was a little tougher than what he may have appeared to be initially, right?
Yeah, he's a tough dude. I think if I would have settled down a little bit, I definitely would have got a better result. But that comes with time. That comes with experience, and like I said before, I've been off for a year just about. So I gotta work on settling down and being sharp with my punches. But it is what it is. He was a tough dude, and he got through it.
Thank you, Shane, for your time. Appreciate it.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks. Everybody, just stay on the line. We're going to move on to Vergil right now. Just stay on.
Very good. Very good.
You were our first ever roundtable. Social distance photo? Social distance photo?
That's kind of photo.
Okay. All right, everybody. We are joined here by the WBA Gold welterweight champ Vergil Ortiz for questions. Again, if you have questions, just raise your hand. To utilize that function, go to the More section on the bottom right-hand side. Click Raise Your Hand. Otherwise, I might not be able to see you and that you're raising your hand. If you have, if it's an emergency, you really need to raise your hand and you can't do it on the thing, just text me. But please use the function where you raise your hand. We're going to start with Albert Baker, who's queued up number 1 on our list. Albert, take it away.
Vergil, congratulations. Good fight.
Thank you.
So, boxing in the pandemic, how has it affected you? And was anything different or weird in camp, or were there things that you normally do that you weren't able to do with this COVID thing going on?
Well, to be honest, it's like I'm on lockdown all the time when I'm in California anyway. The gym is literally in the backyard of our GBA camp house. When I go run, I just leave the house and I run the trail that's right there. When I eat, I literally have a chef that that cooks for us there. So I'm in the house all the time. There wasn't really too big of a difference, and so there wasn't really anything to get used to. It was the same.
When Shane was up, he had mentioned that it was a little bit difficult to get sparring partners. Was it difficult for you to find people to spar with? Was it hard to bring other people in? Because there's only so many people there at RGBA. And who did you spar with?
It wasn't hard to get sparring, but the sparring that specific sparring, probably those sparring partners for me. I sparred Hector Tanahara. I sparred Leo Ruiz. He fights under Mikey's promotions, and I sparred someone else. I don't want to offend him by forgetting who he was. Hold on, who did I spar? Oh, Marinas. Jackson Marinas. He's I think he's from Dominican Republic. Also a great fighter. But other than that, the sparring was great. I can't complain.
And the last question is, Robert had to obviously step out. Your father, I believe, trained you since you were a little kid. Was there any concern from you with not having Robert tonight?
No, to be honest, my dad. My dad pretty much. He's my coach. He's known me for. He's known me all his life. He's been in my corner this whole time. He knows who I am better than anyone else. And although I would have loved to have Robert in the corner, I'm still in great hands with my dad. He knows me better than anyone. He knows what I'm capable of, and he knows all the stuff I need to work on. He knows when it's time to turn it up and all that stuff. So, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Okay. Thank you. We'll let some other people get in here.
Thanks, Albert.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to take it away with Ernesto Amador. Go ahead, Ernesto.
Hey, Vergil, first of all, congratulations. And let me start with this. What is your opinion about Samuel Vargas? Because he showed balls during the fight.
Yeah. No, I'm glad he didn't actually show me them. He was a great fighter. He was very tough. He could take a punch, and he was very smart.
And in the opposite side, how can you describe your fight tonight? Tu pelea, ¿cómo la describes? Si puedes hacer un poco de Spanglish. How do you describe your fight?
My fight, mi pelea estaba muy, ¿cómo se dice? Interesante y con mucho emocionado. I don't know how to say exciting. Emocionado. And it was great. I felt like it was a very fan-friendly fight. I'm gonna watch it right now when I get to my room, and I hope everyone enjoyed it.
And finally, you are ready to fight before these two horrible 2020 ends?
Oh yeah, I hope that I can get another fight, and definitely that's the plan. And I mean, against whoever, I'm ready for anyone.
Thank you, Vergil. Congratulations again.
Thank you. Gracias.
Thanks again, everybody. Again, if you want to ask a question, raise your hand. We have a few people who are ready. We're going to take it now with Vergil. 1 second.
Vergil, congrats on another knockout victory.
Thank you.
You made it no secret, you going after those big names, Errol Spence, Manny Pacquiao. Looking at the promotional companies, it could be difficult to make. What is it that you have to do, or Golden Boy has to do, to get you those fights? If it's not Errol Spence, Manny Pacquiao, is it possible to get a Keith Thurman, a Danny Garcia type of fighter?
I believe so, because my ranking is already high. It's only a matter of time before a sanctioning body of the belts just says I'm a mandatory for someone for a belt, or they're gonna make me fight. Eventually, these guys are gonna be forced to fight me, whether they want to or not. I'm not gonna take any fighters like, oh, I don't want to fight you, I'm gonna pay off. No, it's great to get money like that, but it'd be more of an investment just taking the fight and open more doors.
Realistically, who's the number one at that list?
And how do you say, like, number one in the welterweight division?
Yeah. No. Realistically, who's your target? Let's say, the dream matchup. I know you mentioned in the past the dream matchup will be Errol Spence and Dallas Cowboys. But if is he the number one target?
I would say that there's three of them. It's for me, they're the big three in the welterweight division: Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, and Porter. I believe that those fights are probably the most how do you say logical fights to make. They're not necessarily champions right now. They can't pick and choose who they want to fight. And I just think that they're interesting fights to make. I think that everyone would love to see those fights.
Lastly, being, headlining Golden Boy's return, after dealing with those COVID situations, what does it mean for you as a fighter for your legacy to be that first fighter to come back?
Oh, it means a lot. I'm glad that they entrusted me with this fight. I knew that they were gonna put me in with someone hard. I specifically tell them I don't want an easy fight. I want to be put in there with the best. I need all the experience that I can get. This guy proved that he can take me to the second half of the fight. Went to the 7th round for the first time, and I'm happy that they believe in me.
Thank you, Vergil.
Thank you.
Thanks, Vergil. We're going to move on to our next speaker. It's going to be Cynthia Conti. Take it away.
Hi, Vergil. Congratulations.
Hi. Thank you.
Big win for you. They said earlier, I know that you had this 15, 16 punch onslaught, and your dad said that's not the game plan. What happened? Did you get a little too eager to knock him out? The plan was to break him down. What happened there?
When was that?
I think it was like the 2nd, 3rd round. I mean, you did it. Yeah, you went in on him.
Yeah. But the plan was to basically keep him out, keep my range, and not let him find his. And maybe I thought I had him hurt. I don't really remember, because I thought there was plenty of times where I did like 15. But the plan was just to keep him out and to not let him get comfortable inside, because that's what his game plan was in the first place, to try to make me uncomfortable. And so I just had to make him feel like he didn't know what to do. And to do that, I was supposed to keep my range. And I guess I might have got a little sidetracked.
He is a veteran, and he showed his tactics. And you see, he didn't go down. What did you know? Are you drinking Coca-Cola? Is that your little treat for today? It's all right. No one's not. You deserve it. But what did you find that was difficult about him, that you couldn't get him down until towards the very end?
The only thing that was difficult was that he could take a punch. I mean, I could hit him anytime I wanted to, literally. But he could take a punch, and he had a hard head, not gonna lie. And his arms were big. It was at sometimes it was kind of hard to hit him in the body, because he did have some BPRs on him. But I mean, other than that, it was just that he was tough. That's all I can say.
Did he burp in your face, or because I saw that on Twitter? He did.
He burped, and I'm like, dude, come on. And he said, "It's that chicken." See, that's what the fans like. That's cool. All the fans heard that. And different. It was fun.
And then on your post-fight interview, after you just left, Sergio Mora said he would like to see you in with your Dennis Ugas. If you don't get the 3 that you want, would you be game for that fight?
Definitely, Ugas is a very talented fighter. I feel like he's very underrated in the welterweight division. He probably beats a lot of these guys. I would even say he's probably in the top 3 or 4, including with the champion. And you know what? I would love to make that fight. I have a ton of respect for him, and I'm sure that he would like to fight as well.
And lastly, when are you going to grace us with your IG live again? Thank you for playing Enter the Sandman for me, 5 Metallic. How many? You can play on the fly. It's crazy. It's crazy.
I just been opening up my my sound range or whatever. I've been trying to learn a little bit of everything, but I need to start learning full songs, so I can play the whole thing.
Well, you did a great job. I mean, trust me, it's like Vergil's karaoke night. It was good. Thank you so much. Well, congratulations to you, and give my best to Robert and the team and your family. Stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Cynthia. We're going to move next to Marcos Villegas.
Can you hear me? Hello?
No.
No? Hey, what's up, Vergil? Congratulations. Cheers on a good performance. How was the experience walking out, going to the arena, and then actually fighting with no one there now that you've been through it?
You know what? It wasn't too big of a deal. It was. I mean, it's different. Obviously, different atmosphere and all that. But honestly, Golden was like my family. They were cheering me on anyways, and it felt kind of like sparring, but it's just more competitive with more a lot on the line. So I knew what I was in for. I kept my head straight. I knew what was going on. I mean, other than that, it was the same. It still felt like a fight.
So there was nothing that you didn't expect that happened, or something that you were like, oh, okay, like I wasn't expecting this from this experience?
No, to be honest, I didn't really. When I'm fighting, it's me and my opponent and my team, and I could hear my team a little more vividly. I could follow their instructions a little better, and I mean, other than that, yeah, it was the same pretty much.
I know other fighters, even in MMA and on the other shows, have said that they are able to listen to the corner's instructions and are able to adjust, like their opponent's instructions, and able to adjust. Did you hear what they were telling him, and were you adjusting on what they were telling him to do?
Oh yeah, definitely. I heard everything that they said, and luckily for me and my corner, we have codes, if you can say it like that. When he says one thing, it's not always what you think it means. He might even try to set you up or whatever like that. I'm kind of giving away my stuff a little bit, but that's we have our own language in the ring. So when other camps, they just straight up say, "Oh, throw the jab." Well, I'm like, okay, I want to catch the jab, So I mean, other than that, it was pretty obvious what he was trying to do. He was trying to smother me the whole time, and they were. At one point, he threw like 3 or 4 right overhands at one time. I heard his corner telling him whatever, and he tried to. I mean, other than that, yeah, I really can't say nothing more about that.
Yeah, we're talking about the fights that you want. You're mentioning Thurman, Porter, Garcia, Ugas. Fortunately, those fights might be a little to make because they are with PBC and tied up with Fox and Showtime. On the zone side, who realistically looks like you could make a fight at welterweight? I know Jesse Vargas had a fight with Mikey, even though he lost that fight. He did come down to 147 pounds. Is someone like him likely, who's already won a world title, who's fought big marquee names, as someone to let your presence know that you're there and you're now taking out veterans at welterweight?
Here's the thing about Jesse. Jesse's he's a really cool guy, and he's a friend of mine. So I would probably not want to fight him. I'm not scared of him or anything like that, but just out of respect for him. But I mean, it is a sport, and if they ever offer it to me, I'll look at my options first. But if it's the only way to go, then I mean, no hard feelings. So we both know it's a sport. So I mean, I'm definitely open to a fight with him. He's a very good. He's a veteran, like you said. He's had a world title before. He's fought Manny Pacquiao and all that stuff. He has a great resume. But other than that, yeah, that's pretty much all I know from the zone. Who else does the zone have?
I'm trying to think. Obviously, you're not going to fight Mikey. You know,
On Twitter, I wasn't even fight Mikey. I'm like, oh, I wonder why.
yeah, it's it's hard to think. I don't think Kell Brook can make 147 pounds anymore. I would say Kell Brook would be an excellent fight, but he's at 154.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about that, but that would have been a good fight to make as well.
All right, Vergil, thank you, man. I appreciate it and enjoy this victory.
And thank you.
Thanks, Marcos. All right, next we have our dear friend Gail Falkenthal, and unmute her right now. We are ready, Gail.
Congratulations, Vergil. Thanks so much. Tell us a little about what the hell happened with Jack Reese and what was going on. It was a little difficult to figure out what he thought he was seeing that looked, frankly, to a lot of us to be legal. What was the interaction like? How did you guys leave it by the end of the fight?
So basically, it's I mean, what he told me was that when I spun him, I spun him, turned him, but at the same time he was kind of coming towards me, and I moved out the way, so it looked like I kind of forced him into it, but I just used his momentum against him, and he turned around. Well, he had his back to me, and I waited. Obviously, I'm not gonna hit him when he's faced away from me. And the referee didn't say anything yet. So I'm like, okay, so we're gonna keep going. They say don't stop until the referee says stop, which is why when he turned back around, I let my punches go. But I mean, even if you notice, you pay attention, I didn't throw with everything I had, just in case something happens. I knock him down or I knock him out, and the referee said I wasn't supposed to hit him. I didn't want nothing controversial to happen. So even then, I still played it safe. But he spoke to me in the locker room about it, and no words, everything's fine.
It's safe to say that Jack might have been a little rusty too after being out of it so long, so we'll give him a pass for that one. Speaking of that and the spinning and so forth, you adjusted quite a bit with your footwork and angles trying to get at Vargas. Was this an attempt to try to find some vulnerability in him to get him knocked down? He did take some tremendous shots, and without a crowd, they were extremely audible. Was that the goal? At times you were incredibly mobile in there trying to, get around him.
Yeah, I think I was kind of trying to, in a way, try to prove to people I'm not a flat-footed fighter. And some people say that, oh, he's flat-footed, he's gonna get beat by anyone who just uses their feet or whatever. That was just a little taste of what I can do that I haven't needed to do. I could have done that to that guy all day, but that's not what I needed to do. I needed to keep him out the entire time. I didn't want to get timed and get hit or something. So we just stuck to my game plan. I showed a little what I could do just to be free in there, And other than that, yeah, that's how that was.
And finally, following up, Albert asked you a little bit earlier, not having Robert in the corner. How was it having your dad back after him being out of the corner for a while?
I mean, it's great. He's always giving me advice in the corner, regardless if he's the chief or not. But he's the one that's giving me the mitts pretty much 90% of the time. He's the one in my corner in my spar, along with Hector Beltran, who's also in the corner in my spot today. And those guys know me the best. I've known my dad all my life, obviously, my dad. I've known Hector for a long time too, since I was an amateur, and they've been in my corner this whole time. So I mean, the chemistry's there. We know each other. We know what we expect.
And have you heard from Robert since the end of the fight?
Not yet. I haven't had a chance to look at my phone yet.
Okay. And Gabe, a question to you, if you want to answer. How does the Golden Boy team feel about how things went tonight? Your first outing. Things had to be very odd, not the normal routine for you guys. How do you rate tonight's card from your end?
We'd like to, touch base and see how everything went out internally and do a full report with everyone on the ground who was part of it. But right now we can tell you it was a 10 out of 10 for us. It was a really good event. There was an issue, obviously, with the co-main event. But these things happen. You saw what happened with the Robert Garcia situation. We took care of it. We found a solution. So what this shows is that Golden Boy can deliver competitive, good fights as long as it's done correctly and in such a way that is safe for everyone involved. So we're very happy on behalf of everyone at Golden Way.
I only have one complaint. Did you really have to show us Oscar getting that nasty swab up his nose? I mean, come on.
As our leader, our CEO, he's got to set the example. You know?
I guess, but man, I don't know that we had to see that. That was ugly. Thank you very much, Vergil. Look forward to seeing you back again, and thank you, Dave.
Thank you very much, and we'll have our last question or our last speaker, Abraham Gonzalez, and then we'll end.
Hey, Vergil, congratulations on your win again.
Hey, thank you, bro.
So do you think that because he was so difficult in there that the left hook to the body wasn't available as you may have wanted to land it earlier in the fight?
You know what? I kind of knew that, you know, there's certain fighters that you can just tell how their defenses are and how they carry themselves, that I wasn't really going to land it too often. I had to go to the other side. I had to go from the front. And, you know, you just got to improvise it. See, this is what I work on in the gym. You can't just be good at one thing. You got to be able to do everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you're a guy that keep growing. It's not that you're fat. It's just that, you know, you're growing. No, seriously, like you're growing. You know, you're a muscular guy. 147, as you eat the pizza, right? At 147, is that realistically a weight class that you think that you can stick to within the next 12, 18 months? Or do you think that 154 may very well be the class within the next 2 years?
I could definitely stay at 147 for a while. I was at 140, 141 in the amateurs for like 5 years.
Okay.
So it's not that big of a deal. I am growing, but I also just got into this division like a year ago. So I should have no problem making it.
Okay, and you know, and I put out an article earlier this week because I've been kind of following you since, you know, Velasco days, when you were fighting in that theater, and you were handling your business. And I was telling people that, you know, that you were the next guy. You know, and I tweeted out earlier that I think, me personally, a fight between you and Thurman is, you know, styles make fights. That would be the perfect fight. What do you think of that fight?
Honestly, that's the fight that I've been wanting for maybe like 2 years already. I feel, like you said, I feel like the styles match up really good. You know, some styles don't work good. They're boring. But me and Thurman, our styles, they complement each other. You get me? And you know, why not make the fight? You know, it'd be a good fight, a good money fight for, you know, the promoters. It would be fan friendly fight as well.
Okay, and then I just wanted to leave you. I saw Dennis Ugas tweeted out, "Good luck and success tonight for the future of sports, Vergil Ortiz." What's your reaction to a fellow 147 that could possibly be your opponent, as Marcos mentioned earlier, down the road?
Yeah, I mean, it means a lot, to be honest. I mean, Ugas is a very good fighter at 147. Like I said, he's very underrated. I feel like he's in there in the top 3, including the champions. Very skilled, very talented. And, you know, he's a very humble guy. He's probably not a fighter that I look up to fighting-wise, but just the way he carries himself. You know, that's kind of like what I aim to be.
And lastly, I know that 2020, we're almost, it's crazy to say, but we're almost at the end of it. Do you think that not the next fight, but the 2021 fights, those are the big fights that you want to see fought in that period? Like, because obviously 2020, it may not happen this year, but is 2021 the target year that you say, no kidding, this is the year that I'm going to fight all the big names?
Yeah, that's 2021 is looking like that year that we're expecting. You know, those guys are only getting older. I'm getting stronger, smarter, faster every day, getting bigger. I think that they're making a mistake by not fighting me now. You know, if they want the best chance to beat me, it would be now. But I still feel like I can beat them. And the longer they wait, the more that their chance diminishes. It gets smaller, because I'm going to be the best in boxing one day. And that's just a fact.
I believe it. Thank you, Vergil, for your time.
Thanks, Abraham. Perfect. We'll just give some final words from Vergil before we conclude.
I was okay, you put me on the spot. I mean, thank you guys for always supporting me. You you know, if it wasn't for you guys, you know, the fans wouldn't know about us. So, you know, we would just look like machines out there that fight and get paid, and that's it. You know, it's really you guys. It's you guys that help us connect with the people, help them get to know us better. We're human beings as well. And, you know, I appreciate that. You know, there's sides to boxing. There's a promoter, there's a business side, there's the fighting side, obviously, and then there's the reporters and all that stuff. I mean, there's nothing more I can say about that. I'm thankful for you guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Vergil. That concludes our post-fight virtual roundtable. We thank you all for joining us. We will see you on August 28th with our 12-round lightweight fight between Jorge Linares and Javier Fortuna. We're going to have a great undercard that we announce this coming week. So thank you for joining us. Thank you to Vergil. Thank you to his whole team, and we'll see you all soon.
All right. Hope you guys liked that. Let's see what you guys talking about here. Try to ask a question. I'm sure you guys saw it on there, but they got busy. There was a lot of people there. So but yeah, Vergil looked like a beast. That was a great performance. Man, he looked super solid. He looked great. Hey, shout out to HK40, bro. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. Appreciate that. Always love the super chats. They help the channel grow, man. I appreciate all the love. I try to bring you guys stuff live. I figured out how to go live on this thing, even though we're in quarantine. I figured it out somehow. So hopefully you guys are enjoying the lives. It's been fun getting back to work, man. I'm loving getting back to work. So thankfully, so I appreciate you, HK. Thank you so much, man, for the super chat. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, what'd you guys think of Vergil tonight? Who is he ready for Spence, Garcia, Thurman, Ugas, Porter, those guys? I think Marcos made a good point as far as if he's gonna fight or I'm sorry, the Jesse Vargas was a good opponent for him just because he's on the zone. It's an easy fight to make. 147, he's a good fighter. What do you guys think about that fight, Vargas versus Ortiz? I'm gonna keep HK's super chat on there. Appreciate that, bro. Let's see. I think Ugas would be tough. I agree. Ugas is tough for anybody, though. In all honesty, Ugas is it's a tough matchup, man. Yeah, Ugas is. I'm surprised PBC isn't trying to push Ugas to fight Crawford. That surprises me. Ugas is a beast. He is a beast. I would think PBC would want, would like, well, hey, if you could beat him, I don't know, like kind of, because Ugas is not easy for anybody. That's why no one talks about him, because they're not trying to deal with that. Well, hey, everybody, I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys watching. I'm gonna try to bring you guys new content. I'm gonna try to. I'm getting kind of in the groove of just kind of how we're gonna have to adapt during this time. So now the boxing's coming back in a big way with PBC's big announcement. I have an announcement I'm gonna make probably tomorrow with who's gonna be on the next show. So look out for that. I'll put on the post and the stories. Let's see, what'd you say, HK? Vargas and Ortiz would be a good matchup, good experience. I agree. I think it's a great fight. I know he said they're friends. Friends fight all the time in this business, especially for like fat checks. And DAZN is paying a lot of money, and they know it looks like they're putting a lot behind Vergil Ortiz. I mean, that was their first fight back. So, I'm sure Jesse can use a check too. Yo, that's a Nisa KO, bro. Hold on, let me just finish the Jesse Vargas thought. Yeah, so I feel like Jesse Vargas, that's a good scrap, and I think it's a perfect experience. And I mean, shit, Mikey just fought Jesse. You know what I mean? That's a Nisa KO, bro. Oh my God, that girl was bad, man. That I mean, obviously was you know, the person she was undermatched, but Sinisa didn't waste any time. She doesn't get paid for overtime. That was incredible, man. That was incredible. Shout out to Sinisa. She was on the show. Hopefully, I'm trying to get her back on the show. She that was incredible. That was, you know, shout out to Sinisa. She works hard. Hopefully, some of these champions fight her, man. I know because they you know, she's a star. They think they're starting to ask for like hella money, but just, you know, just prove something if she's not the real deal. I think she's a real I think she's a real deal. No, yeah, and I was telling someone too, like, I agree with you, HK. Like, the people aren't ready. So I mean, you know, shout out to that girl for taking the fight, Atkins. But man, that was like Gotti Gamache style. I'm gonna like do a little chop up of like Gamache and like Atkins back to back, cause sheesh. Oh man, that was awesome. That was awesome. Shout out to Sinisa for that KO. That was incredible. That was a good ass night of fights. All the fights were cool. I liked Vergil's kind of stablemate kid, that Valdez kid. The first fight, that kid's working too. That was good seeing him go rounds. I'm sure people like that. I'm sure he you know, proved it to himself. That's knockout of the year so far. What else is knockout of the year? What else would be knockout of the year? Oh, Chocolatito knocked out that dude pretty bad. The English dude. But I mean, how many fights do we even have to choose from? That one, maybe. Mikey did not KO Jesse. What other KOs have happened this year that were good? Yeah, it was great for Friday night, and there's UFC tomorrow too. That's going to be a good UFC. I can't think of a good like another KO. Definitely not better than that one. I haven't seen a KO better than that one in a long ass time. So that's probably knockout of the year. I'm gonna start promoting that as knockout of the year. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, that was knockout of the year so far. And well, there's more boxing coming now, I guess. So, you know, but that's the one to beat. Sinisa's is the one to beat. I'm gonna start campaigning for that. I'm gonna start calling Sinisa's followers super baddies. Cause I don't know. I just think that's funny. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Good, bad, thumbs up, thumbs down? What do you guys think? I feel like, especially like you know, just super bad chicks would like be about it. You know what I mean? It would kind of hype her up in that genre as well. She's become like a young woman. You know what I mean? Super baddies. I'm start pushing that. Start pushing that. Once you guys start hearing that, you guys know where it came from. You guys know where you heard first. First go KO knockout of the year. I'm 100% with you, HK. I'm 100% with you, bro. That's knockout of the year. It's honestly your comment right here that made me kind of realize that that's yeah, it's knockout of the quarantine, of course, but that's knockout of the year so far. It's the one to beat. It's the one to beat for sure. Reds fan, hey man, a lot of us are, bro. A lot of us are. Damn, they sprung me on the press conference. I didn't know there was actually going to be a Zoom, and you guys caught me in my like old school Affliction shirt. This is like the George Rush St. Pierre one. I definitely was that dude that used to wear Affliction back in the day for sure. It's terrible, terrible. But these shirts, even though they were like $50 back then, are still comfortable as fuck. Oops, I shouldn't say bad words. But yeah, these shirts are super comfortable. So that's why I still wear it. So it was like my comfy day. What? It's a wash, bro. I swear. I've been doing housework all day. No, actually, no. I put this on after, but no, it's washed. It's just luckily there's lights on, so y'all can't see like because it's this white has seen better days. You know what I'm saying? Man, it was a good night of fights. I was hyped. I was hyped to see those fights. I'm hyped I'm able to put the press conferences on for you guys live. That's been cool. Have you guys been liking that? Like, has the audio been cool? I know it was a little off today, but that was a little off today. But I'm gonna try to do that as much as I can, and I'll try to announce it to you guys ahead of time, so this way you guys can know what's coming. You know, prepare for it, whatever. Leave the hit the bell icon. You know what I'm saying? So this way you guys know what's coming. But I'm gonna do that more, especially the more they do these live events online. I'll be able to bring them to you guys live with audio and all that stuff. So this way you guys get them right away. But I'm gonna go ahead and start working on this footage real quick. Oh, Danahara, what is this? Oh man, it would have. It super would have. I've been busy all day. I have or even yesterday, I have no idea why. Why did that get canceled again? Did someone not make weight? What happened? Oh, food poisoning. Got food poisoning. Maybe, man. I mean, hopefully it's that and not something else, you know? Hey, PG, appreciate you, man. Thank you, bro. Yeah, man, I'm trying, man. I'm trying to bring you guys, you know, I tell you guys I'm going to bring stuff live, and I know the quarantine happened to everybody, but this is why I started right away trying to figure out how to do live, bring you guys live content, you know? Food poisoning, huh? Poor guy. That's going to be a good fight. Honestly, that's a solid scrap that you know can maybe even do its own card. I think. I mean, I would watch it. They hype up the undercard and all that. I'd watch that. I'm going to be honest. I didn't like the lightweight shade about Ryan on the. It wasn't that bad, I guess. But when they were talking about like, oh, you know, like Vergil, you know, has like this like dedication or something. Obviously he does, but to say that Ryan doesn't, I think is like I don't understand like why you get like I don't know. They're supposed to be like they're his promoters. You know what I'm saying? Like should be I get it. I get it. You know, it's easy. It's easy to take shots at Ryan because of his popularity and kind of the other ways he can make money, but that's not to say he's not a dedicated person. Like even people who do content creation, like Logan Paul and all those guys, like well, maybe they don't do so much of it now, but as far as like editing and all those things, I mean, Ryan doesn't do much of that. But regardless, like who cares if he has other avenues that he's like making money? You know, I don't know, whatever. It just bothered me. Yeah, and then did you guys see the like lightweight bickering between like Grissom and Sergio Moro? Was that the only one that saw that? I was like, why are you guys like jaw jacking at each other? Like, I don't know. It was just me, but I don't know. Anyway, I you know, people just because Ryan's a pretty boy, people sleep on him. Sorry about that. I think my phone overheated. Jones getting KO'd by Tyson. I got to do a show on that, but I mean, probably. Not a fan of DAZN's commentary. Yeah, you know, they're working at it. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, fellas, everybody, ladies and gents,